you don't care. Let's touch girls.
I've been fortunate enough to not really kind of work with that many terrible people, like in-ring wise, but one person who I will never work again, and he doesn't really like me, so I'm just gonna tell the story. You guys probably might have heard of him, like, his name is Chewy Martinez. Again, I'm never gonna bump into the guy. If I do, what's he gonna do? I worked him at Carnage Top 11, which is a story in and of itself, and he was so drunk and so high and so off his mind with just whatever he was doing that day. He was slurring beforehand, he was stumbling to the ring, and when we got there, he started throwing fork right in my throat. And he was mad that I wasn't reacting to him. I said, you're messed up and you're like, I don't swing someone on the side of your head. So after that, he picked up a walker and broke in like the most unsafe way possible. I know I probably shouldn't be talking trash on people, but he's the one person that's like, anyone's ever like, hey, you want to work Chewy Martinez? No, I'm good. Like, I never know the ring and mess up, and I think that's the one thing you never ever should do. I mean, if you did that at any other job, you'd get fired. Sorry, I guess I couldn't come there with Chewy Martinez. Best person I've ever been in the ring with, there's a lot of them, like Al Sloan, Mickey Knuckles, John Dahmer. Actually, I had a really good match with him. Neil Diamond Cutter, pretty much anybody I've wrestled with the past year. Great fan was really fun. Even though he beat the other crap out of me, but he gave me a sticker afterwards. The marketing just sucks. Favorite ref has got to be Papa G. It's just because he's, you know, the easiest person I've ever been in. You forget he's in there until like, oh, yeah, I need some help, and he helps you out. Worst ref I've ever been in there with? Yeah, let's just say Stanky.
I'll start with the referees. My favorite referee to work with is John Finnegan. Guy who broke me in. We were the only, here's the trivia answer. John and I are the only two guys who were there day one and the final day of ECW. We were the only ones who never left the company. So yeah, he's my favorite. He broke me in, and we're still working together on the indies here and there. And least favorite is probably a guy that I can't remember his name, and I probably told him what to do in the ring because he was doing it wrong and never listened to me, and I've never seen him since. I can't come up with the rest of the that I've worked with because I worked with so many, and I go through the entire ECW roster as my favorites. And, so I'm not even going to comment on best and worst.
I think first person that comes to mind with best wrestler I've ever worked with is Jeff Cannonball. I think the amount of fun, chemistry, and everything we have in the ring together. I think the worst, I had to say the worst, but about 2 years ago I wrestled this guy. His name's Jimmy Lyon. We got no, just kidding. We actually had a really good match. I haven't really had a bad experience with anybody in the ring, so once again I'm lucky with that. In 3 years I've been wrestling. I don't have any horror stories yet. My favorite referees though, Keener and Papa G are my two favorites. They make the match so much easier than it needs to be. The worst ref, I don't even know his name, is the guy in Pittsburgh. I don't think he ever ref the match in his entire life. I think they picked him out of the crowd. And
That is so nice.
I think Stan was in our match. He can relate. He flew every spot, and it was a real trip.
So the best rep I ever worked with is a Northeastern guy named Steve Dumac. Steve's the man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Steve is so good. I know he did Ring of Honor for a while. I'm not sure what he's up to, but he's probably the best. There's a lot of great reps. Papa G obviously one of them, but Steve Dumac, the worst rep. I got pretty lucky with referees. I've never really worked with a bad rep. I've worked with like student reps that maybe didn't know what to do, but they're students. Although I've seen some pretty bad reps. Who was the dude with the Terra Calloway match? Oh, okay.
Oh, Spanky.
All right, really nice guy, but watching him get so embarrassed that he left out the back door was never seen again. It was very funny.
Spanky.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, very nice guy, but it was pretty funny. The best wrestler I've ever been in the ring with is Alex Reynolds, who is on AEW now in the Dark Order. He teams with John Silver. He's amazing. I was not ready. I should have been wrestling him. I was super blown up. I did not belong in there. He was great. The worst wrestler I've ever been in the ring with is this guy named Omen Raksha 666.
Oh my God, you know him?
Unfortunately I wrestled him, and it's the worst match I ever had. It's still on YouTube, unfortunately. I have to work on getting that taken down. But yeah, Omen Raksha. If you guys have a chance when you go home, I promise you, if you YouTube Omen Raksha 666, he's so bad, but there's something very entertaining about it. Exactly. Moral of the story is, when someone tells you they were trained in the doghouse, they weren't. Don't believe them.
I actually got an interesting referee story before we carry on. So about 2 years ago, wrestling was a promotion to Philadelphia against Christian Ross.
I told him about
It's me versus the manager. And, you know, we have a tricky finish, you know, we have some things going on. The referee's taking a bump, he's getting knocked out and all that stuff. So the guy's from the neighborhood, you know, from the neighborhood I grew up in, his girlfriend lived in me, you know, he's like, hey, I got from the match and everything, we go over it. So I guess the promoter decided to not pay them. So they went on strike right before my match, and I had absolutely no idea. You know, Christian comes out, makes his entrance, I come out, make my entrance, I get in the ring, and the referee comes up to me and goes, hey, so what's your finish? And I turn to him, and I'm like, oh, who the fuck are you? Oh, awesome. Just figured you appreciate that one.
Hey, I got a question for you. Hi, I'm DB Richards. I'm the 2300 Wrestling Podcast. So what is the best advice someone given you? Me talking to Mike, got it.
Assume that everybody is dumb you're working with. I mean, you're not. But assume it. Like, you know, I'm going over something with Chad, and I say, stay away from my face. And then he starts biting the top of my head. You gotta assume that you have to tell, hey, I have this right here. You have to break down the little details. You have to assume that everybody is dumb. I don't take things too seriously. Because if you do, then you're going to be miserable. I mean, there's times like money's big and all this other stuff. You should take stuff seriously, but at the end of the day, actually, not even that. Always make sure family and everything comes first, above everything else. You know, unless you're feeding your family with wrestling, then that's different. But like the level I'm doing it at, like I'm not making $1 million, so like, you know, the family is responsible. I forget who told me that. Someone probably. I'll do probably, but yeah.
Don't be so quick to get into the ring. Not everybody is meant to be in the ring. As much as you may love wrestling, it may not be the place for you. And if everybody wants to get in the ring, then there's nobody in the seats. And nobody in the ring is making any money if there's nobody in the seats. So, you know, I don't want to make it sound like learn your place, but think hard about it, because I mean, if you get into it full time, like I did with ECW, it's a hard road, hard life, and you know, you could lose something really important. I almost lost my entire family at one point when I was in ECW. So definitely think about what you're doing before you decide to step into it.
Hey guys. The good bit of I got was from Danny Havoc when I first started. He said it's nice to be nice to people. Just treat everybody with respect, and you know, hopefully they treat you with it back, and it just makes the environment so much better. It just makes everything so much smoother. say hi to everybody, from the top guy down to the people in the session, to the people, you know, cleaning up. Just treat everybody the exact same way. And everything will run so much smoother when you do that.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you said, I probably tell myself it's nice to be nice at least every single week. Danny Hadley was extremely kind, but I think the best advice I ever got was it was actually from Stockade, and he told me to have like 3 people in wrestling that you trust their advice on. Because in wrestling, a lot of people are going to give you their 2 cents. Everybody, from someone who's been wrestling for 2 weeks to 30 years in the same area that's never left. They'll all give you their advice, and a lot of times conflicting is scary. So have like, you know, a very small circle of people that you trust, and listen to them, you know, because they'll have your best interest in mind.
Who's Stock? Because he changed his name.
I got one more. This is kind of like a personal thing that I realized, and when I tell people that getting into wrestling, it doesn't matter how good of a wrestler you are, if you're not a decent human being, it doesn't matter. There are some really good wrestlers out there, but some of them are really talented people, and I have no time for it. I don't care how good you can wrestle in the ring. If you're a piece of garbage human being, you'll never get a second of my time. You know, flip side, if you're terrible in the ring, if you're a really good human being, I'll always do it out again. I'll always do whatever. It's more important to be a good person and to be a good person.
That's a light lesson right
Yeah, if you do both, then, you know, it's more than I can do. I just try to be a good person. I just sat down to be a good wrestler.
We're done.
We got time for one more quick. I'm going to say, I know you all grew up in this area with the CZW and all that. And you all in that era from like late 90s to 2000. We all were interested in like White Peter, Monaco. Which one of those old school CZW, IWA, hardcore guys would you like to wrestle? You know, what would you have done with them? The big one, you know.
J.C. Bailey, Necro, Pondo, Toby, Brain Damage, Orton.
Say Necro.
There's so many of them.
I know.
Say
But
Necro.
I think the one that's probably doable would probably be Necro. He was crazy. Tough motherfucker. His master Joe was fucking amazing. Met the guy, really good guy. Got to cut a promo with the guy. But he's definitely one to come SOB for sure.
I had 2 from that era that I really wanted to wrestle. Was Dan and Pondo, and I did, and he hit me with my Dan. And Nick Knuckles, and I did. And she beat the crap out of me with the no, I hit her with the toaster, but she hit me with something.
Did toes come out?
No, but my brains did. So I got to wrestle the 2 people I really wanted to with was Pondo and Nick. They were really good people too. But I probably would have wanted to wrestle like Logo, like absolutely Logo, just because I always remember there was one time when Logo got thrown through this giant, from this really tall balcony, they're almost leaning tables, and they're trying to pick up the barbed wire tables. So they're picking them up on the barbed wire. So security picks them up, barbed wire pulls them back in. He's on fire this whole time. Picks them up, pulls them back in. Picks them up, pulls them back in. This guy's burning. They finally pull him and wins the match. And then they call me intermission, and I go to give the sessions, and Lobo's there. You can smell the burning hair on him, and he's getting a hot dog. Like, something about that guy, right? So.
I'm going to twist it a little bit because I was pretty CZW, but there was something I would like to work with. I would have loved to have done a tag team match involving any one of the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Fantastics, who I think are the most underrated tag team ever, and the Freebirds. So any mix of those tag teams.
I think if I had to pick one guy from that era, Nick Mondo would definitely be the guy. He was always the guy I loved when I was a kid. What he did in like 4 or 5 years, the impact he left in the business, still to this day, is incredible. Definitely one of my dream matches that I always wanted to have.
Yeah, I have two, and definitely Mondo is one of them. Because before I even knew what deathmatch wrestling was, I recognized Sick Nick Mondo. So whatever he was doing, it was working. From the face paint, you know, to the baggy pants, the spiky hair, the awesome poses, like the electric tape. Like for a guy who didn't wrestle forever, you know, the impact he made is undeniable.
Oh, no.
The other guy would be the ultra-violent beast, Masada. Because I got to work with Masada very briefly when I first started wrestling. But it was nothing, and I was a student. It was like 5 seconds. But I would love to wrestle Masada because I think in pro wrestling, he's one of the few like just legit guys, you know, that you just don't want to piss off. You know, he's very much that older generation of wrestlers who are just tough and nasty and they're calloused. And I love to wrestle Masada. Hopefully one day.
There you go.
That's it. Thanks for the question and answers. Luke, very unprofessional. This is my first time doing it. Thanks for being here and looking forward to the matches tonight. Thank you.